Right, enough of this bloody nonsense. I said at the start that I'm not here doom and gloom. It's about information so we become empowered to be able to do something about what we begin to understand. And that's what this whole section is about. We're in a time now where the dynamics of power is changing. We're starting to realize as people wake up that the power in a pyramid ain't up there, it's in the body of the pyramid that's holding that up there. The dynamics of power is starting to shift as people awaken, and we realize we have the power, not the elite control system, which depends on our acquiescence and our ignorance to survive. Now, where now? Where now from here? Which way do we go? Well, it's bringing something all the way back to the start of the day, really, because a prevailing theme from the very, very earliest days of this journey I've been on 20 years ago has been that there is a shift happening that is an energetic information shift that is going to transform this world from a slave, prison type suppression and limitation into an ever-expanding awareness and amazing things that become possible once we do that. And it was 20 years ago, in those earliest days, that this theme started. Right at the start, this is coming. Not, we hope it's coming, if there's an R in the month and a following wind. It is coming, it is inevitable. So much so, that the first book I ever wrote after the psychic and the Peru and all that stuff was called Truth Vibrations, the Truth Vibrations. And it was called that, I called it that because that's what I called this vibrational change, the truth vibrations. The reason I did that is because what I understood, even in those early days, although I was going on trust then, but I can see it now, in daily experience, was that I was told that this vibrational change was going to bring to the surface all that had been hidden from us, that it was not, well, we hope it will come to the surface, it's coming to the surface. And that it was going to wake us up from our slumber, our coma, our sleep. And 20 years ago, no evidence of that whatsoever. Like I say, no one wanted to hear virtually what I was saying, and there was no evidence that there was an awakening, no evidence that this what had been hidden was coming to the surface. 20 years later, it is extraordinary. As I go around the world, into new countries, into countries that don't even speak my language as a first language, bingo, it's happening everywhere. People are getting it. And yes, it's about voice-to-ear communication to the conscious mind. But it's about more than that. You know what we've been doing here today, and will continue until the end, is we've been communicating with each other on an unseen energetic level, on a vibrational level, all through this day. I remember when I went into that ayahuasca state in Peru in 2003, and that voice was talking to me. It was hilarious. You know, whatever they're on, I want some. It was so funny, the way it was talking about reality and stuff. You wouldn't take life as seriously if you kind of heard what I was being told. Anyway, at one point, was talking about communication and the real level of communication. And as it was talking about this, I saw this picture in my mind of me standing on a stage. And I walked out at the start in this picture, and I stopped, and I stood there, like that. It could have been like that, but I think it was like that. And then the angle moved to over there somewhere, and I saw people in the kind of the front row, and they're looking at me because I'm not speaking. And one of them went like that. What's going on? And the voice said, you only speak because if you didn't, that people would say, when the something, is he going to start? Because what it was pointing out is the real communication between all of us is on a vibrational level. So even without words, we are being touched by this changing vibration, these truth vibrations, which is blatantly happening. They're bringing up and opening the wizard's curtain, like in The Wizard of Oz, so we can see what the wizard really is. And you know what the wizard is? It's an illusion. It's the emperor's new clothes. Oh, he's got all this power. Look at his nice clothes. Got no clothes on. It takes a child to say, he's naked. He's naked. And that's the key. Because the power this system has over us, and the people running this system has over us, is the power they persuade us they have. The only power they have over us is the power we give to them through acquiescence and ignorance. And we're at the point now where that's changing, and changing rapidly, and we've seen nothing yet. These are amazing years we're going into. Great challenges, amazing transformation that is coming. Because I'm seeing it all over the world. People who just a short time back you'd say, that guy's never going to turn to this stuff. And suddenly they get it. I was walking through a hotel in, where was it? Santa Fe last year, where I was speaking. And as I walked along the corridor, this guy came along the other side. He came over from Texas, flew in from Texas. He said, you know, 3 months ago, mate, he said, I would have said you were crackers, completely mad. Now I get it. In 3 months, and people who are waking up now are getting it faster and faster because the vibrational change is moving faster and faster. It's an exponential curve. And what is happening, I would suggest, is that this vibrational base frequency is changing, as it does, in this cycle. And so it gives us opportunities to experience suppression and all the rest of it. It's an experience. Or we can experience a period of great expansion, or we can do I think the most interesting thing of all, which is to span the epoch change. And that's what we're doing. The base frequency is changing, and therefore the information is changing. And as the base frequency quickens, those that open their mind vibrationally to connect with that, they're starting to decode different information. They're seeing themselves and the world in a completely different way. Those that are still stuck in the old vibration, they're still seeing the old way, and they think people are all waking up at crackers, mad. We're moving through this from a yuga, if you like, into another yuga, from an epoch into another epoch, as the information changes due to what's going on, and the photons, the energy in the planet system is starting to change. And for those that open up to it, it's starting to change what we decode. Suddenly we get it. Why didn't I get it before? It's so obvious. Because something's happened, something's shifted, something's expanded, and more people are now moving into this era of expanded consciousness, awareness, perception. And suddenly the world looks very different because we're decoding different information. Now at the moment, because it's this epoch change, then there are those tuning into the old epoch energy, and there are those tuning into the emerging one. And that's, you can blatantly see as I travel around the world, this fork in the road, where people are moving out of the old, and people are getting often more and more stuck in the old. And the challenge is to open the mind. Anyone can do it. Open the mind so that we can start to go with this. And as I'll get to, opening the minds means chucking beliefs and preconceived ideas. Because the energy is changing. And Neil Hagen and myself, we are symbolizing these truth vibrations as the lion, the real inner power of human beings and consciousness coming to the surface and replacing the little sheep. I could never, oh no, what will happen? That change of perception, that change in